It doesn't look like everyone's here, but we will see. We're going to go ahead and start anyways. This is also being recorded, so anybody that would like to get a copy of that, do this. Um, we are going to go through, I think we'll get through pretty soon. We have an hour for this, and I think that we'll have time for questions at the end. So to start off with, you're here seeing the Five platform. We like to look at it as that and not totally an Amazon Echo piece, but we'll get there. Um, Hopefully everyone can see my screen. We'd start off and just kind of talk about who Best Innovation Group is. We are a bunch of guys who had developed a lot of software for a lot of folks in the industry who one day thought, you know what, we need to really just kind of focus in on innovation, that continuing home banking and mobile wasn't necessarily going to yield the results that we think that the credit unions need to compete in the fintech industry. So the top four are the partners. All of us have been working together for over 15 years in one way or another. And then the bottom is a few of the folks who support folks. Most notably is Tad Broschat, who is on the phone with us. Say hi, Tad. Oh, did we mute Tad? We might have muted him.
I was muted. Hi,
There you
guys.
go. So Tad is the main developer of this platform, so he'll be on with us. We also have Ed Gonzalez, our president here. Say hi, Ed.
Hello, everyone.
And you can kind of see what everyone does. So there's a few more people, but these are the major ones that we work with in the in the organization. And here's some of the customers. So basically, we have a lot of the bigger credit unions as our customers, and some of the bigger consortiums as our customers, including CU Wallet, CUNA. And our whole point is to we work with our bigger credit unions to sort of vet ideas, to get ideas across the finish line, and then you'll see kind of our business model in a minute. But we have a lot of folks that we work with directly, and it's it's a nice to have these people to look at what's coming down the pipe and to make sure that we're on the right track. So here's our business model. We develop platforms and not products. So our whole goal is to sort of build innovation and ideation around platforms. We license our platforms to the groups best suited to implement and support them. So for instance, right now we're talking to several of the core providers who are interested in licensing this technology. While they're licensing, implementing, and supporting it, we continue to innovate and iterate on the platform. And we provide the folks who buy these licenses all updates and features. Because what we found in the past when we were part of a product company or a platform company was the company would do a great job with that first album, if you will, that first product piece, but then after that, we would see just stagnation as far as new features and new updates because they were trying so hard to keep up with everything else. In our model, that won't be the case. Our goal is to continue to innovate because these platforms that we're working with now are not going to go away anytime soon. And so what you'll see today is the I would call it the beta model of the platform. And as I said, we are in communication with some of the cores. We also have a lot of experience with core development. Most of the major ones, Scimitar, DNA for Fiserv, Correlation, Summit, Spectrum, so forth and so on. We know all the major cores and we've worked with them before, so we understand them and can implement them. So what is the Five platform? Why is it called Five and what do we do? Well, we realized that there's going to be a whole lot of talking going on. That talking was the new clicking. And we wanted to say, gee, rather than do what we usually do in the credit union industry or even in any industry where we have, hey, we want to support the Amazon Echo and you get one platform to support the Echo. And then we want to support this or that or anything else and you get one platform to support that. We wanted to be able to build something that maybe could support all of those things or at least come close. We also recognized that the Internet of Things was going to be a thing, and it is growing quickly. As a matter of fact, I think there was a Gartner report that it's supposed to add $26 trillion to the GDP by the end of 2020 or something like that. So it's a conversational engine that knows who you are, that remembers your accounts, and interacts with you on various levels. And our goal from that perspective is to be able to continue to grow that as AI gets more and more powerful. We want to have the ability for folks who are involved in this to continue to see the growth of the conversation engine and how it can work with you. So that's what the Five platform is. So if we look at kind of just a kind of a high level overview of the Amazon services, we've got your core that's connecting. You've got these web services, which depending on how the licensor determines to install it, it could be a cloud-based application or it could be a local-based application. In this case, it's talking to text and email, and then down here you can see sort of the Internet of Things, right? The Samsung refrigerator or Cortana or any of these things. But we're going to be focusing in on the Echo today because it's a really awesome platform and the one we have done. So communicates with Alexa, Amazon communicates with Alexa, which then in turn communicates with your core. And to look at it a little deeper level, basically there's a configuration database, there's a credit union database that's keeping track of, in the configuration, everything that Alexa responds with is actually configurable by you. So if you don't like what it says, you can go into the database, you can, we have an admin tool for that, you'll be able to change what it says, click a button, and the next time you ask, it will say that, not what it said before, which is a really powerful way to control the speech and how it works, which is important to us that this is a self-sustainable ecosystem as it grows. You can see that down here we sort of have the credit union database, which has some of the details of your connectivity in there, and finally the core connectivity, usually over a VPN or some other piece. And then you've got these registration pages, which we'll get to in a little bit. We're using Twilio right now for SMS. If you have a better SMS service, we're totally open to that. And then whatever your email service is, we're not really concerned about that. And obviously, Amazon has an amazing web service that allows us to communicate with the Echo. So we'll go into here, and you know what? I'm like I said, I'm gonna stop, and I'd like to unmute everyone. I think you can do that, right? Actually, I think we can just go in here. Hang on. Let me do this in the attendees. Mm-hmm.
I could.
I'm just going to go unmute everybody. I'm doing it.
Okay.
I just want to see if anybody has any questions so far, because it's not a big group, and I think I see Kevin right there, and then we'll probably mute everybody so that we can kind of hear again. But I figure I'll go through and just make sure, because it's a lot to cover, so I just want to see if anybody has any questions so far. So everyone's unmuted. Hello, everyone. I see Kevin, who I know very well. Hi, Kevin. So does anybody have any questions so far? Come on, Kevin. You have to have a question.
I so don't have any questions yet. I'm just waiting to see the magic sauce.
Okay, magic sauce coming up. All right. So everybody seems to be pretty quiet, so I'm going to leave you unmuted. I'll ask that if someone comes in the room, starts talking to you or something, if you don't mind muting yourself. So why the Echo? Well, we saw early on last year that this thing was taken off. We got one in early connectivity, early sales, the $99 version. I got it and I immediately fell in love with it. And that's kind of one of the big sort of one of the reasons we organizations hire us is because we're good at sort of seeing the trends, and we're good at seeing what the opportunity is. And we saw right away that, wow, this thing had a lot of utility, and not only that, but Amazon was moving quickly with it. So here's a couple quotes from folks. They're seeing those things, so we do have someone who needs to mute. I think they muted. And you can see right away that some folks really looked at this and said, yeah, this is working for me. Then we also did some market research just to back it up. So Amazon did not exist in the speakers market up until 2015. That was dominated by Sonos and Bose, and now they're the leader by far and a long way. So clearly, that was a good sign that we were seeing these devices proliferate. And then finally, we decided to move forward with our credit unions. So we have 9 credit unions that we work with, and those 9 credit unions get our products themselves because they have developers and people that can support them. And when we do something, they get them first so that we can roll through, see how they're going, and then we roll it out to our licensors. So We've come up with the rollout details for each credit union, which we'll talk about. You got to go through Amazon certification. I'm not sure the actual Amazon. We also have contact with Amazon, with their main evangelist for the Amazon Echo, one of the main programmers. And I don't know if he's on this call. He actually signed up for both of these, so we don't see him yet. We were going to unmute him if he did, but his name's Paul Cutzinger. So he's helping us get through the certification and make sure we have that covered correctly. And then we're going to finalize our roadmap, and in April, which we're in the middle of, we're right in the middle of getting some credit unions up. We actually have one up and running right now, which is Washington State. If anybody knows anybody over there, they're welcome to go talk to them. And then rollouts start in June for our 9 credit unions. And then we are, like I said, in talks with a lot of the cores. And if you're interested, we're going to say, hey, go talk to them and move them forward. So they also, Amazon released some more things. As a matter of fact, this is the Echo, which was the first product. And then there's the Dot, and the point of the Dot is it uses an existing speaker system as opposed to having its own speaker. So it's just kind of the top part of that big tower there. And then the Tap, and the point of the Tap is it's not always listening and it's portable. So according to Ed, our president, I should have a Tap waiting for me at home today. And the Dot is still on back order. So we're excited to test both of those products. And it was neat that Amazon came out with it so quickly. The other point we want to make is that, and this is not well known, but Amazon themselves, actually, the Echo itself isn't the only thing that they're interested in enabling with the voice service. So if we go into the developer area, you're going to see that they have 2 services for Amazon. They have the Amazon Skill service, which is what we're going to show today, but they also have the Alexa voice service. And so that means that we can Alexa enable other applications, which we are working on, and that'll be something else you'll see in our roadmap. So we can Alexa enable our own device if we wanted to, and we do have something like that in the works, which is going to be very cool when we come out with it. So there are other things behind this, and that's why it's talking to the 5 platform as opposed to just sort of being a direct Alexa app. So going back to the application here, we're going to pop in, and we're about to get into the demo, which is the fun part here. So before we go, these are the commands we have working. And how were they picked? They were picked based on use cases. We came up with over 100 use cases for this thing. And as we went through them, we worked with some credit unions. Ed, you met, Ed's in charge of a user experience committee of our current credit unions. And Ed, these were the ones that kind of came out of the list that people were very interested in, correct?
Correct.
And you want to describe that process a little bit on how you go through and how you work with them on both the user experience and the setup and whatnot?
Sure. So, we kind of go through and we try to put together basically real world use cases. So, we've actually gone through, kind of the process of walking through and actually using existing Echo apps to get a better idea of what the experience is kind of like. And that generally usually, creates a lot of discussion. And then we just kind of talk through the points of, really throwing things against the wall and kind of seeing what sticks. Well, could we possibly ask it this? Could we possibly ask it that? And, from there, we kind of generate a list. And then we kind of start narrowing it down to, the things that are kind of the most important, the things that they think that members would use most often. So it's really kind of an open discussion. Again, starting with hey, let's play around with it a little bit, not necessarily with banking apps, but just with any app, just to kind of get a feel for, what the Echo can do. And I don't know if any of you on the phone actually own an Echo, but it's a pretty neat device. And I would highly recommend, getting one and, messing around with the existing skills that are out there. But that's generally a high end, just, how we kind of walk through that process.
Thanks, Ed. So, all right, now it's time to get to the demo. So let's pretend that you just got your first, you got your Echo, and you just bought it, and so the first thing you're supposed to do is set it up. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to assume that you figured that out. But you're in your app, and here you are. You got the Echo in front of you, and now you can start talking to it. So we can say things like, Alexa, what time is it in Germany?
The time in Germany is 9:15 p.m.
All right, can you hear that, Ed?
Yes.
All right. what time is it in Romania? Oops, Alexa, what time is it in Romania? Didn't like that. Alexa, what's the weather like?
Right now in Colorado Springs, it's 72 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds with a high of 75 and a low of 44.
All right, so you guys are hearing that. Okay, so you can see, you've probably seen this thing work before. It does all kinds of really cool stuff, from playing music to podcasts to everything you can think of. But it also has apps, and in their world, apps are called skills. So if we go in here, we can enable a skill. And so, as you can see, there are a lot of skills in here, and some of them are interesting, some of them not so much. But you can look through here and find a lot of really cool stuff because they allow so many people to do this. So there's 62 pages of skills in here, and so let's say that your credit union was called Big Five. So credit union Big Five, you would just search for your credit union name. In this case, we're going to find it, and now we've got to enable Big Five. We've got to connect my Echo account to my credit union account. So we're going to do that with this process. It's going to go through and bring it up. In this case, we're going to show Suncoast, which is one of our credit unions that we work with, and we have to accept the terms and conditions, and we don't have those quite written up yet. We're working with the lawyers and on that, but we have some good examples of that. And now we have to put in our credit union, home banking platform credentials. Now, in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to go in, and this is actually talking to a Scimitar system. So in this case, it's actually connected to Scimitar, and I'm going to verify this. So it's going to go through and go out the Scimitar. And while it does that, whoops, got turned around there. Get turned back around. While it does that, it's going to validate, and it's not on a very fast Scimitar system, as you can tell, but it did bring back the accounts. Now, while we're bringing back the accounts here, you can see that we brought back all the accounts from the actual system, and we can actually map all these things. And the reason we did this is because we don't know what these names are, and people don't want to say, what is my 60-month jumbo? You can see this is a weird one here, 60-month jumbo certificate balance, So what we've done is we've created pseudonyms that they can map things to. And by doing that, it keeps it so that it's very easy for them to talk to the Alexa system. It also reduces errors when the Alexa responds. So I'm going to go ahead and map these accounts. Now, we do have security. And so in this case, we're going to set up our security PIN. And this PIN is what you're going to have to say in order to sort of unlock your account. And then finally, now normally we would just pull these from the host system, but we found that a lot of credit unions don't have this data, and they have emails, but they don't necessarily have the CU. So you can either say, yep, we already have this and we're fine, or you can say, no, John, we want to turn this on, and we want to collect them, and we also want to update the host with this information when you collect it. So we'll go through and do that. It's not likely most everyone would do that, especially with the email, because it poses a risk, but just for purposes of demo, we wanted to make sure that we could always have a good account, and they're always changing the dev account. So we'll update that. All right, so now it's done. We've actually cleared this out. And I want to talk about a little bit what happened in the background here while we go through. So you can see that the skill was successfully linked, and now it allows access to my credit union. It's set to disable, and I can go back here. So in the background, if we look at how this played out, what ended up happening was our service said, hey, we're going to register you. Someone came in, they hit the registration page. We hit the OAuth. We got a token from Alexa, which told us, hey, you can go ahead and get started now. So we got it from the web service. And then we went down to the core, and that's where we validated who you were. And once we validated who you were, we pulled back some information and walked you through the setup that you saw. And then we went back and said, okay, we know for a fact this is a good person. And we asked Amazon for another token. And that token is not just a session token, but it's a long-term token. Once we got that long-term token, that ties this device to this person's account. So in Alexa, in our database, we now know that this Echo is tied to Joe 2000's account. And I know what you're thinking, but what if we have more than one account in the house? We're working on that. But to start off with, we've got the single account connected, and you're able to have that information between those two. Now, once we've done that, we can actually start talking to her. So I'm going to fire up, and since the credit union name is Big Five, I'm just going to tell it to open Big Five. Alexa, open Big Five.
Hello. Welcome to the Big Five interface. I am your credit union digital assistant. If you need any assistance, just say help.
Help.
You can ask for your checking or savings account balance. You can also ask me to perform a transfer or even ask for your history. Just say log out when you are finished.
What is my balance?
Before you can continue, we need to check your PIN. Please say your 4-digit PIN.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I have confirmed your PIN. Thank you. For which account did you want a balance? You can say checking or savings.
Savings.
The balance for your savings account is $24,539.49. Would you like this information sent to you?
Sure.
How would you like your savings account balance summary sent to you? You can say text or email.
Text.
Your savings account balance summary has been texted to 303-906-3009. Thank you.
That is not my phone number. Someone else is testing with this account at the same time.
The phone number I have on file for you is 303-906-3009.
Cancel. All right, so
Cancel.
log out.
Do you really want to log out?
Yes.
I fixed it, John.
You
I'm
have
not
been logged out
sure
of the Big Five
why we got
interface.
confused there, but it should be back on track.
Exit.
I am sorry. There was an error processing your request.
Exit. Okay, so a couple things happened there. One, you saw that it asked for my PIN, and that's really important. But you also saw that after it asked for my PIN, it knew where it was, and I just said, what is my balance? But I also could have said, what is my checking account balance? Or I could have said, what is my savings account balance? And so it understands what I'm talking about, and it asks me further questions when I don't give it all the information it needs. That's part of the AI that we built into the Conversation app. That's not exactly part of the Alexa app. That's part of what we designed. So what I'm going to do is show yet another feature of that, and you don't always have to just open it up and start talking to it. You can directly ask it questions. So I can say, Alexa, ask Big Five what my checking account balance is.
Before you can continue, we need to check your PIN. Please say your 4-digit PIN.
My PIN is 1, 2, 3, 4.
One of the guys in the back, he needs ship.
I have confirmed your PIN. Thank you. The balance for your checking account is $4,845.57. Would you like this information sent to you?
Yes.
How would you like your checking account balance summary sent to you? You can say text or email.
Text.
The requested skill took too long to respond.
Cancel. Alexa, open Big 5.
Hello, welcome back to the Big 5 interface. How may I help you?
Tell me about my mortgage.
The summary for your signature loan account is as follows. You have a balance of $4,530 for the statement dated April 23, 2010. Your next payment of $0 is due on 1/1/0001. The payoff amount of this account is $4,530. Would you like this information sent to you?
Yes.
How would you like your mortgage summary sent to you? You can say text or email.
Email.
Your mortgage summary has been emailed to jb@big-cu.com. Thank you.
What is the payoff for my Visa?
The summary for your Visa credit card account is as follows. You have a balance of $1,703.06 for the statement dated April 23, 2010. Your next payment of $87.01 is due on April 2, 2010. The payoff amount of this account is $1,703.06. Would you like this information sent to you?
Yes.
How would you like your Visa summary sent to you? You can say text or email.
Email.
Your Visa summary has been emailed to jb@big-cu.com. Thank you.
Transfer $100 from my checking to my savings.
Would you like to transfer $100 from your checking account to your savings account?
Yes.
The transfer transaction has been completed. Would you like a receipt for this transaction?
Yes.
How would you like your transfer summary sent to you? You can say text or email.
Email.
Your transfer summary has been emailed to jb@big-cu.com. Thank you.
I'm going on vacation.
You will be traveling? That sounds fun. Please tell me the dates you will be gone and I will notify your credit union to prevent an unwanted fraud lock on your credit cards. What is the starting date of your trip?
I leave on October 16th, 2016.
The starting date you said is October 16th, 2016. Is this correct?
Yep.
Good. I have the starting date of October 16th, 2016. What is the ending date of your trip?
October 18th, 2016.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Alexa, tell Big 5 to cancel.
Canceled.
I'm going to Miami, Florida from June 1st to June 8th.
I will now send a notification to your credit union that you will be traveling to Miami from June 1st, 2016 until June 8th, 2016. Are you sure you would like to continue?
Yes.
A travel notification has been sent to your credit union. Would you like a receipt for this transaction?
No.
Okay. Your travel notification processing has completed. Thank you.
Tell me about my savings account history.
Your savings account history is as follows. On April 24, 2010 at 9:06, a transaction withdrawal for share 0001 posted for the amount of $3,000. On April 24, 2010 at 9:05, a transaction withdrawal for share 0001 posted for the amount of $460.55. On April 24, 2010 at 9:03, a transaction withdrawal for share 0001 posted for the amount of $1,250. On April 24, 2010 at 9:03, a transaction deposit for share 0001 posted for the amount of $500. Would you like this information sent to you?
Yes.
How would you like your savings account history summary sent to you? You can
Email.
say text or email.
Email.
Your savings account history summary has been emailed to jb@big-cu.com. Thank you.
I lost my credit card.
I'm sorry to hear that. Please tell me the last 4 digits of the card and I will cancel it to prevent any fraudulent charges.
My card number is 4713.
The last 4 digits of the card number you said is 4713. This is your credit union debit card. Is this correct?
Yes.
I will now cancel your card ending in 4713. Are you sure you would like to continue?
Yes.
Your card has been canceled. Would you like a receipt for this transaction?
No.
Okay. Your cancel card processing has completed. Thank you.
Have my credit union call me.
I have sent a request for your credit union to call you directly.
Hello, this is your requested callback from the Amazon Echo service. If you'll please hold the line, a credit union agent will be with you in just a minute. Or at least that's what you might hear if we had connected this to the VoIP system that runs your call center. For more information about the Five platform and services, please go to bigfintechmedia.com. Thank you.
All right. So that's pretty much all she does today. Kind of jump back in here and finish this slideshow, and then we'll take some questions. I did mute everybody again because there was somebody talking. So you kind of saw this process. I walked through this. I think you kind of know where it landed here, and you'll get this presentation to take a look at. We did the product demo here. So here's our roadmap. The first thing to understand is we do got more features coming. Send $50 to my daughter, pay my electric bill, notification controls, so it won't ask you every time if you want to have it texted or emailed to you. You could just say always text me or always email me or don't do anything and stop asking me for forever. We're also working on loans. I want a new car. How much can I get for a new car? It'll tell you where the dealerships are. It'll tell you, it'll send you information about the cars that you can look at and your loan. And then down the road, we have a lot of plans for other platforms. We want to enable the Facebook chatbot, which we're already working on, which just came out yesterday. We've already been working with Samsung. We're in the Samsung Smart Devices Development Program. Jibo, if you've never seen a Jibo, go Google a Jibo and check out the demo. It'll blow your mind. It's really, really cool. And this last thing called the FiBot is actually something we're building, which is a personal financial appliance that we're trying to get off the ground. It also processing, or as a blockchain personal cloud. So we do have a lot of plans for this platform to continue to innovate because we think the Internet of Things is just going to grow, and there'll be more and more things that Alexa will learn to do as we move on. We also have Cortana, which we are in the middle of, and we've looked at Siri and some of the other pieces. So pretty much anything that has a voice interface now, we can look at that and enable it with our background AI. So what are the next steps if you guys were interested? Well, one, we're taking pre-orders. So, and our pre-orders, our licensors will be contractually obligated to honor these commitments. In other words, when we make our deal, we're going to say, look, these guys go first, and they're going to be the first ones to come online. We'll be announcing the credits that we're going to bring online in the next month, which is most of our innovation club. And we're in negotiations with several companies and cores to support and implement the FIVE platform. And as we complete these relationships, we'll put them in. So part of the plan is if you're interested and we're talking to all the big cores, you can reach out to your account provider and say, hey, we really want this, and we're hoping that you'll put together something with the group from Big. So I am now going to do this again where we're going to unmute everybody, and we'll see if we have any questions because we've got a little bit of time left, and get you guys' opinions and hear things. So all right. Can't unmute Debbie Bartu, but I can unmute Jorge, and I don't know which one Jorge's on, so I'll unmute them both. And Kevin, unmuted, Michael, unmuted, and Sean, unmuted. All right, so happy to open up for questions.
John, is the communication between Alexa and the Alexa Cloud encrypted?
Yes, everything has to be over HTTPS or they won't accept it.
How are you dealing with multi-factor authentication on a device that isn't recognized? When you're first registering that device, or is it because you're going directly into the core to get your authentication that's not asking?
Yeah, so we could easily do the multi-factor in that registration if you wanted to. We could go directly into the core and pull out the phone number or the email and send them a code. So that's an option.
Okay, so similar to what we used to do with your mobile.
Correct.
Westcon's mobile.
I don't have a mobile.
Right.
That's how we would enable it and go forward there. Also, there is a possibility for transactions that are large. So, for example, if you said, transfer $10,000 or something, instead of just asking for the PIN, we could also say, we've sent you a code. Please, log back in and tell us the code, and then we'll complete this transaction. So there are options. You can also limit the amount because we do have that configurable as well. What else you got?
Out of all of the credit unions that you have playing with this right now, is everybody just integrating it directly to their core, or have any of them tried to integrate it to their home banking, mobile banking platform instead?
Everybody's going with the core because nobody in our group has a need of doing that. Although, no, that's not true. We have an ACI customer who will probably be integrating it with ACI.
Okay, so that could be two then.
Cool.
We'd have to do it that way because we don't authenticate to the core. We authenticate to our home banking platform. So.
Yeah, Virginia Credit Union, one of our clients. You're welcome to talk to them. I don't know if you know Trey. I'm assuming that you do probably.
I know Trey and Chris.
Yeah, so they're the group that's working on that. I think Trey's pretty far down the road on that already. Any other questions from anyone?
Unmuted.
I would like to know. I'd like to know a little bit about who's in the group here. So, Cynthia, Maybe is Cynthia there? I'm making people talk now. Want to find out what cores we have represented on the call, just to get some idea of the groups that are interested. Cores in home banking. So I don't know, Jorge, if you could let us know. Mostly quiet. So, oops, just got dumped. All right. So Kevin,
this is Mike. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you, Mike. Hey.
We're on Fiserv XP.
Okay. And we have done integration of Fiserv before. We're actually talking to Fiserv about this product. So they actually called us. They called us about this. So that's pretty cool. So we're kind of in the midst of speaking with them. Although, you know, we have other people. Oh, some people are saying they're on Digital Insight. We don't have speakers. Gotcha. Thank you, Jorge.
Right.
Apologize for that. And their core is Scimitar, so that's good to know. But yeah, we as far as Fiserv goes, we definitely are talking to them. But we have other people that would implement Fiserv as well if necessary. So we're just trying to find the right fit, because our goal is that we don't find somebody who doesn't know all the cool features of XP2, so that the integration is as good as it can be.
Right.
But yeah. Excellent.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We, if you have one of these things, after a while you get used to it. And the big use case I see is, transferring money to my daughter in the kitchen when my hands are full of chicken because she's texting me over and over again. We see that. What do you guys think about the cross-device functionality on the ability to send emails on the statements and stuff like that? Do you guys see that as a pretty useful feature?
From my perspective, yeah. I mean, it's getting, email or a text, depending on what your, medium of choice is. It's, again, it's a choice, and that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Honestly, John, I see it. It would probably be too slow for me personally to use it all the time. It would get annoying, kind of like it does in my car. But there are times that I would want to use it. Where I really see the benefit, though, is for disabled. So,
yeah.
And it may only be a handful of people, but if I can continue to give them tools for somebody who has some physical disability to be able to access their accounts, that brings us.
Wow, that's a great idea.
Well, it's interesting you should say that, because Ed's son, Ed, our president's son, has cerebral palsy. And we actually have a 503B, or a not-for-profit, called the Levi Project. And Amazon actually, we submitted our idea for an action for the disabled to help them with various things. And they actually came back to us and said, we can't invest in a not-for-profit, or we don't know how, but we want to talk to you. So we'll be chatting with them about that too. And we do see ADA compliance and other things. This is a heavy use for that. I also think that down the road, as we see more things come online, so let me give you an example. Thermostats are a pretty obvious one, right? So once we connect budgeting software into this, we could have it monitor the thermostat and say, you know what, you have budget for, this much money this month, but apparently everyone here likes to be really warm. Everyone needs to go put a jacket on because you're going to hit your budget for that. And so there's a lot of long-thinking things from an innovation standpoint that we see coming out of the IoT space, and we believe Amazon's done a really, really good job of being the first step to that. All right, any other questions? Just for some discussion? We're always down for innovations, Anybody see any other devices from an IoT standpoint that they would consider for the 5 platform?
Nothing else that we're playing with right now, but I like where you're going with this, so we're gonna keep on focusing. And you said you've been, in your podcast, you said that you've been using this for a while, and you've noticed it has gotten faster over time, and it's better at depicting dialects the more that you're speaking with it.
Yes, absolutely. It's getting better and better as we talk to it. And the other thing is as we go through, and we're in the middle now of doing functional testing. So, it's certain words and certain orders and how we say things, and the more we learn from the way we've designed the system as it learns as it goes along, we can actually continually update it to add more and more what they call utterances. The more utterances we have, the more intuitive it is when you ask it questions. But the big key that we hoped you saw was that we can go in and we can say, and this is one we're going to work on in the future, which is setting up a meeting at your credit union. So you say, I want to meet with a credit union loan officer, and that's all you say. Well, it's smart enough to know, just like we did with the travel notification, to go, well, there's some other pieces of information I need. When, where, what time. And so you saw that with the travel where I ask it a question and it knows it didn't get the other pieces of information it needs and it asks me for the rest. Or if I tell it all, if I give it all in any order, it'll find that information and then go through and parse it out for me. So imagine a meeting, and you were to say, yeah, I want to have a meeting, and with that meeting, I see a question from Jorge, so we'll get that in just a minute. For that meeting, that's a great question that Jorge just asked. I want to answer that. But for that meeting, we said, here it is, but at the end of it, you didn't know what time you could go. So with our system, if I think it was Kevin talking a minute ago or Michael, but Kevin, if we were going back and forth and I said to you, Kevin, let's meet, and you said Friday, and I said what time, and then you said where, and we were going to be at some conference, and we both didn't know what was around there. So I'd say, hey man, let's figure that out when we get there. And you say, yep. So now we both know that's kind of on hold. Well, we're going to be able to have that in the ecosystem as well. So you can be in the middle of a transaction and you can go, you know what, put a pin in that because I'm not sure what the amount is for my bill pay, or I'm not sure what it is to pay my utility bill. And those are the kinds of things we want to get to. Our long-term focus for this is AI. We're more interested in AI than anything else because we think that's going to help for financial literacy. We think it's going to help for the disabled, as someone pointed out, and we think it's going to be a big play as we go through and see the newer systems that, hey, if you try to transfer that $500 from your checking to your savings, you're going to bounce your bill pay tonight. Jorge, that is beautiful. What a great idea. We absolutely can put marketing. Those could be sent as beautiful HTML. As you can see, our developer Tad isn't the world's best HTML marketing person, and certainly those emails could be gorgeous and have links in them and marketing campaigns. And the Echo, when you first turn it on, if it knows who you are, could say a campaign to you. It could say, by the way, you've been pre-approved for a loan, because when it first hits that service, it knows who you are, and that wouldn't be hard to do either. So those are both great ideas, good innovations.
John, what about if you're involved here with the assistant, and there was, let's say you were looking at, you mentioned financial literacy and education, and there was a video that the credit union was using for how to balance your checkbook. Could that be passed to the TV that's by you?
That is coming, absolutely. For now, what we could easily do is just send you a link to it. We could say, okay. we could text or send you a link to that video, but that is coming. We have seen where DirecTV and the rest of these guys have web services, and as the automated homes come online, there's going to be more and more of that kind of multimedia play between screens. That's why we were focused on this instead of home banking and mobile, because there are plenty of people doing home banking and mobile, but we see this as a future for everyone. Jorge, hopefully that answers your question. What a great idea. Thank you. All right, are there any more questions? Because I could give you back some time, and I'll close out just by saying, if there aren't any more questions, anybody else have any other questions? Those were great. All right, so if you're interested, just email me at jb@big-cu.com, and we'll follow up with you anyways. We have kind of a letter of intent in the pre-orders, and so this is going to go fast. We think we're going to close this out in less than a month for the folks that are kind of going to be there. And if you want to kind of get your place in line with whoever's installing this, we're happy to work that out and get that in the loop. And basically, for the folks we're working with, the more folks we have on board, the easier it is to get them moving on implementation and whatnot. And we will be involved in the first round of implementation, and they're going to take it from there from a support standpoint and be able to continue that so we can continue doing the things you guys just talked about, which is taking it to the next level. We're not going to stop iterating on any platform that we have. And as we bring in revenue from licensing out our platforms, we just bring in more people to continue to integrate and innovate and iterate on the platforms we build. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I can't thank you all enough for joining us today. And I'll just give you two other things. If you're interested, and this will be the next slide, I believe, our Analytics and Financial Innovation Conference, 26th through the 29th. Paul was going to be here, but apparently didn't show up for this one, but he signed up for both. We are going to have Amazon on site to teach you how to build a service if you're interested. We're just going to build a very simple service that looks for the nearest branch or ATM as a fun thing to go through and do. Also, we'll get a keynote from Amazon about the Echo. It's really cool that they have picked up and helped us, and so we're excited to have a relationship with them. And we certainly think this is pretty awesome to have these guys sponsoring our conference. So if you haven't signed up, 26th through the 29th. Also, you may want to visit cblockchain.com if you haven't been there. We're in the middle of a big movement to look at blockchain, and we'll be talking about that there as well. So that's all I got. I hope you guys I appreciate your time, and if you have more questions, just don't hesitate to email us.